Good evening, Andrew Dunlishan, and thank you for joining us here post-match after this 3-0 victory in the FA Cup second qualifying round against Loughborough Dynamo. It was a no-win situation today, Andrew, because as people would expect us to come and win this being the higher league team, but if we lost it would have been seen as an embarrassment.
Totally agree. The FA Cup, the magic of the FA Cup, they're one-off games. So when you turn up to a team, you can't underestimate anyone. Loughborough have had good record as well at home. I've seen their away records not so good, but at home they've won games, and I think they're unbeaten at home. So we was expecting an odd game. In terms of the mindset of the players, sometimes it can be hard as well. In terms of the mindset coming to play a lower league team, and then a lower league team sometimes will raise their game. They'll put it in. They'll want to prove a point to people out there. A club like ourselves is not too far away, so we knew. Me and Gaz spoke about it, and we spoke about to the players on Thursday night that it's going to be a tough game, and we expected. And then the first half, it was like that, what we expected really.
Even though Tamworth took the lead early on through Ryan's penalty, Loughborough did respond really well, and actually the more the half went on, particularly after the fracas, about 10 minutes before half time, that seemed to affect Tamworth more, and the more the half went on, it looked more likely that Loughborough would get an equaliser.
Yeah, I thought that, if I'm being honest, for most of that half, they dominated the possession of the ball in areas what didn't hurt us for 30 to 35 minutes. However, you're quite right in saying that for the last 10 minutes of the half, they got more into the last third after the sort of fracas, and sort of had a couple of shots on goal, and Jazz made a great save, to be fair, to keep it 1-0. That could have changed the sort of momentum of the game. But when you're away from home, sometimes you're going to have moments where the opposition are going to have them spells in the game. I thought when we come out after the first half of the second half, I thought we managed the game really, really well, and then we started to pick up the game, and our sort of quality and experience showed.
Well, at the end of the day, the history books will say a 3-0 victory and it's job done.
Yep.
We're into the next round. Is there any preference on who you would want to draw, whether it be home or away?
I think in the FA Cup you always like a home tie, especially for the fans. I mean, the club hasn't won a FA Cup game for a long while, so to win two, the atmosphere, the fans, the results really for the fans and the football club as an whole, because they've obviously traditionally they've had some good runs. In terms of the draw, I'd like it to be an home draw for more of the fans than and for the club, to hopefully bring some of them days back to the club. So anybody at home, I think that in the next round, whoever we play, if we play to our potential, we've got and play with the tempo that we can, and the players that we've got a chance. So I'm not really got a preference to just be a home draw, though I'd like definitely. But we're on a bit of momentum, a bit of a run at the moment, and there's a good atmosphere in the change room. So we're quite confident and prepare the same way we do for everyone, but we're quite confident whoever we get.
You talk about a good run. That's 6 straight wins and 1 defeat in the last 9.
Yeah, I'm glad you've said that. I mean, we got off to what I'd say it was an average start, and now the boys, the new lads, are sort of integrated into our philosophy. The lads who was injured are coming back, as you can see. So now we've got sort of like a wealth of riches at this level in terms of players that we can select from. That's helping us, and the good thing is that everyone's putting a shift in and everyone's performing. The biggest thing as well is the new lads have integrated into the team. There's a good atmosphere. Winning games helps, but 8 out of 9, we're on a run along, may it continue, but what it's going to take is keeping our feet on the ground, when we get back in, grafting hard and working hard, and that's what we've been doing since me and Gaz have come in, and the management team's here now. We're just grafting every day, and the players are reflecting that in training and on the pitch.
Sure. Back to today's game, there was a nasty tackle actually on Ahmed Obeng towards the end of the first half, and he'd been exceptional, and of course he won the penalty in the first few minutes for Ryan on 8 minutes to put us 1-0 up, but he had to come off as a result of that tackle, and I just wondered if you got any early indications on the assessment of his injury.
Well, I'll speak to Manzo in the medical team. I asked Ahmed how it feels, and he just said it was like bruising rather than anything sort of serious in terms of ligament or tendon damage or muscle. He just said it was bruising. He's been caught quite high up the leg, if you like. We felt it was a really bad tackle, and what you said, he's won the penalty. He got a bad tackle actually for the penalty as well from behind, which led to our first goal. But so he was sort of a bit ginger then, and then the second tackle was, I don't know if the ref's seen it. I'm not sure. He's got his own view on it, and the lino. But the angle we was at, we could see it clearly went through that the sort of middle, just below the knee. But he's okay. I think it's just quite some severe bruising. So hopefully that with some ice and that and rest, it'll manufacture itself to come better. It's nothing serious.
Okay, well, you've now got a couple of training sessions, and in a way that with having Tuesday games recently, it must be quite nice to actually get a couple of sessions now with the lads before the trip to Royston Town next Saturday.
There's actually a game being put in on Tuesday now against Ensford in the Stafford Cup on Tuesday. We're away at Ensford now, so I actually thought the same until Rich recently told me. I was looking forward to the 2 training sessions to get back on the training ground, because I'm quite mindful of, grafting and working hard and continuing with our philosophy. But we have got an extra game, and what we've got to do is that's where the squad comes in it. And there's a bit, I had a discussion actually with Rich Russell to say, well, we've got a lot of games, so he said you're going to have to rotate and use in the squad. And I said, well, if you're successful, that's going to be the byproduct of having a lot of games. So it's a good thing. I'm not complaining about it, but I would like to have a couple of training sessions with the lads on there. I must say as well, like I said, the graft that we're putting in, I need to say thanks to my missus for letting me have the time, because the last 3 to 4 months, even since off season, it's been absolutely hectic, and the time that me and Gaz and Tom are spending on it in terms of like analysing the opposition, watching opposition games, then putting a plan out on the ground. I've got to, sometimes I come home and don't see my missus, and I'm sure Gaz is the same, so I've got to say a big thanks to her letting me. I'm just happy for my dad, because my dad keeps talking about an FA Cup run and running the league, and I'm just happy for him that he can see is that we're having some success, and hopefully they're both proud of us.
Okay, well, congratulations on the result today, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.